For decades, enterprise software has functioned as a system of intelligence. These are passive data repositories, dashboards, and spreadsheets that alert human workers when something goes wrong. The industry is now shifting towards a system of action. AI agents monitor data flows, detect an anomaly, and automatically resolve it in real time. Pluto 7's Planning 3.0 initiative serves as a central case study for this transition, replacing static data analysis with an autonomous operational structure. The proving ground for this technology is global supply chain orchestration. A single enterprise might have manufacturing hubs in Asia, distribution centers in Europe, and retail outlets in North America, all requiring immediate reactions to shifting consumer demands and market volatility. The financial objective driving this pivot is defined by the 2-10 rule, a requirement to generate a 2% lift in revenue or cost savings while driving a 10% reduction in planning errors across the entire supply chain. But introducing this level of autonomous execution triggers a hidden risk. When AI agents move faster than human managers can track, companies experience intense organizational shock. This manifests as role confusion and severe burnout as legacy workflows collide with automated output. This aligns with the work of organizational health expert Patrick Lencioni. His research indicates that a company's structural health, defined by minimal politics and absolute clarity, remains the primary driver of sustained success, regardless of technical sophistication. Effectively scaling enterprise AI is a dual architecture problem. It requires a smart technological stack to process the data, paired with a healthy organizational stack to manage the humans overseeing the machine. Treating AI adoption as a purely technical challenge creates an organizational bottleneck that mathematically guarantees failure at scale. To understand the smart side of the architecture, we have to look at the bedrock problem of modern manufacturing: decision latency. This is the time gap between a market event occurring and the factory floor adjusting its production lines. That latency exists because enterprise data remains fragmented. A company's financial records and inventory counts are often trapped inside separate legacy enterprise resource planning silos. Pluto 7's Pi agent operating system unifies these streams. The foundation is a master ledger in Google BigQuery, which pulls data from ERPs, CRMs, and external signals into a single source of truth. Above that is the Pi semantic layer. This module uses entity relationship modeling to map out the unwritten rules of the business, like complex lead time constraints, creating a precise digital twin of the supply chain. With the context established, the Pi decisions layer runs tens of thousands of parallel simulations to determine the optimal business response. These simulations are bound by the Pi shield, a security kernel providing glass box transparency. At the apex of this architecture is the Agent Council, a network of over 100 specialized, domain-specific AI agents overseeing functions like inventory targets or finance allocations. Because they are interconnected, the reaction is immediate. If a demand agent senses a market shift, it autonomously triggers the inventory and finance agents to update stocking targets and capital budgets simultaneously. This layered architecture shifts supply chain management from reactive damage control to a proactive, predictive autopilot. While the Agent Council processes logic flawlessly, dropping a system that executes decisions in 60 seconds into a traditional hierarchy creates a systemic shock for the human workforce. For decades, human planners defined their professional value through the manual creation and manipulation of data. Autonomous AI strips these employees of their legacy identities as creators, automating the very tasks that previously consumed their entire workday. Verified internal feedback reveals that this identity crisis manifests as burnout and feelings of unrecognized talent. When software outpaces the organizational structure, the result is friction and toxicity. To address this, companies must initiate an agentic workforce transformation. This is a structural intervention designed to rebuild the organizational chart for an AI-first environment. The new target is the NextGen SE 3.0, an employee who acts as an AI curator. Instead of performing manual data entry, they prompt, guide, and govern the specialized agents. Employee burnout is a predictable symptom of an obsolete organizational structure attempting to operate next-generation tools. To architect a healthy organization, Pluto 7 looks to Lencioni's first two disciplines: building a cohesive leadership team, and creating behavioral clarity. The CEO and COO must explicitly redefine the company's behavioral values to neutralize AI-induced friction. They have to define exactly how human workers are expected to interact with the machines and each other to maintain trust. But values must be operationalized. Lencioni's fourth discipline, reinforcing clarity, involves aligning every systemic process, from hiring to performance management, to these new standards. Traditional tenure-based performance reviews fail to account for the speed and output of an AI-augmented workforce. Measuring inputs, like hours spent on a task, contradicts the efficiency of the software. The replacement is a continuous, evidence-based assessment model that rewards the actual value generated through AI-driven productivity. A key metric of success becomes an employee's ability to safely delegate tasks to and supervise the output of the PI agent. Without overhauling performance management to reward this curation, an enterprise actively incentivizes its workforce to reject the new technology. When the smart technology stack and the healthy organizational stack integrate, they form a singular operational model. The human structure is engineered to support software speed. The PI shield provides governance, but the discipline of creating clarity enables the workforce to utilize it. This fused architecture lets a business shift from selling software licenses to selling outcomes as a service. They take direct accountability for a client's financial results, such as a 2% reduction in carrying costs, rather than just their IT uptime. For enterprise leaders facing the Gen AI transition, the primary takeaway is clear. Possessing the smartest AI models is merely the baseline requirement for entry. The ultimate competitive advantage is the organizational health required to operationalize them.